Friends, welcome to Center for Online Education, Uttar Pradesh Registered and Open University. In the previous lecture, I have told you about training and development. That what is training, what is development, and what are the benefits and disadvantages of training and development. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see and we are going to discuss about the types of training and the methods of training. It is very important for an employee to train and get the better skill for his development, for his career growth. So, in this lecture, we are going to see that how many types of training are being there and what is the process of getting a training. Now, the training process is very important. Why? Because it is a systematic process by which an employee is going to be trained. It is a process by which you are going to give an employee that what he is going to do. As you all know, in the previous lecture I have told you that training is a process of increasing the KSAO levels of an employee. K stands for knowledge, S stands for skill, A stands for attitude, and O stands for other characteristics. So, this is the process by which training is being given. So, here you can see that it is being assessment, design, implementation and evaluation. So, when we take this thing, this is a different process, and this thing, if you see that this is the process of a training, that how an organization is going to train his employee. The first one is the assessment. The organization used to assess that what type of training is being needed or what type of training is being given to employee to increase his knowledge or skill. This is going to be based on his career growth, his job performance. So, assessment can be done by the help of appraisals. If an employee productivity is good, no need of giving training, but the output is not meeting the standard of an organization, then an employee definitely needs a training. So, here assessment is very important that an employee is being assessed that he needs a training or not. Now, after that, you have to design the training. Designing of a training requires a lot of process. The designing of a training says that whether it is on the job training or off the job training. So, you have to design a job, you have to design a training process for an employee to be given. Then you have to implement that you have designed the job, you have designed the training process, and you have implemented that this is the output, this is the time structure, this is the date, this is the duration of an hour which an employee is being given a training. And the last one is the evaluation. You have to evaluate that after getting the training, how much skilled, how much knowledge, how much the change in the attitude of an employee is being witnessed. So, dividing these four things, the training process and getting it understood by the method, if you see the assessment, need assessment or components of TNA. Now, whether an employee requires a training or not is very important. So, this is based on the performance appraisal of an employee. If the work he is performing matches with his standard output, there is no need of training. But if there is a deviation of his work with the standard which an organization needs, the person requires a training. Design. For designing of a training, the first thing is define the objectives, why the training is being given, what are the outputs which is being required after training, and how you are going to give him training. So, you have to define all the objectives. Then, you have to develop a lesson plan. Means, if you are giving a training to a person for a bank cashier, so what are the needs, what are the work he is going to carry? You have to specify all the job process, means job specification is being done over here, and according to that, the lesson plans is being developed, that what is being taught to a person when he is going to get the training. Develop acquired material. Now, You have developed a lesson plan that this is the lessons which we are going to teach, and now you are going to develop and acquire the materials, means the things you are going to give a trainee at the workplace. You are going to give him notes. You are going to give him the equipment if required. You are going to give him the case studies if required, practical output which is being required, all the on-the-job things which he is going to do. So here the person should develop and acquire the material which is being needed for the training. Select trainer and leader. Now you know that this is the training you are going to give. You have made a lesson plan. You have acquired all the material required for the training. But who is going to train? As for a team, you required a coach. You required a mentor. Same way for a training process, you required a trainer or a leader. Now, what are the requirements of this trainer and leader? He must possess all the skills and knowledge which is being needed for their training process. He must have an efficient competency required for providing that training. So, training and development is very important because it is being given by a selected leaders or the selected mentors or the selected trainers who are enriched in that specific skills and possesses all the knowledge. Then select the method. Method selection is very important. You are going to give a training to an employee on the job or off the job. In off the job training, you are going to give the training to an employee at a workplace where he is working. He don't have to leave his workplace. He is going to be trained at his workplace. That is on the job training. But when an employee has to leave his workplace and go to another place to learn the skills and the knowledge and enhance his attitude, it is known as the off-the-job training. So, you have defined the things, you have made the lesson plan, you have selected the learners, trainers also, but now it is being decided that whether the training skills which is being given must be given on the place of a job or outside the job. It depends upon the number of employee, it depends upon the structure of an organization. So, for the off-the-job training, the employee has to leave his workplace and go to that specific place. And for on-the-job training, the employee is at the place, but the trainer is going to come at his own place and give him the training. Now, the last one is schedule the program. Program scheduling is very important. Why? Because the training should be given at the time which a worker used to spend at the workplace. So, program making is very important. 5-day program, 10-day program, it should not be lengthy one. It should be according to the standards. So, for designing of a program, all these 5 activities is being done. Now, when we move ahead, implementation, that is the delivery of a program. The delivery of a program means that we have made the lessons, we have collected all the materials, we have selected the trainers. Now, this trainer, this leader, this coach, this mentor is going to deliver and make an employee learn all the skills which is being needed for his future course of work. And the last one is the evaluation, that is training outcome. You can get a feedback, you can take an important or a simple test, you can check the skills of an employee, you can ask the employee how he is feeling, you can make a questionnaire and get your answers. So all these things comes into the evaluation process, that is the training output, that when an employee has gone under the training and what he has taken and came out from a training. So this is the whole training process which is being there. It starts with the need of a training and ends with the training outcome. Moving ahead, let's see that what are types of training. First one is the induction training. When an employee joins any job and he is newcomer to a job, induction training is being given. He is being told that what type of work he is going to do, how he is going to carry his work, where he is going to sit, who are his subordinates, who are his seniors. under whom he is going to work, the hierarchy system of an organization. Everything should be told to an employee, and this is known as the induction training, which is also known as the introduction of an organization to an employee. Then competency-based training, CBT. The competency is the skills which an employee possesses. So there are different groups of competency which is being needed in an organization. So here, group of employees are made having a safe competency, and they are being trained on the basis of the skills which is required in the future. When we do this we say that this is a competency-based training, because the employee is being competent or made competent to that specific function. Then knowledge training. Knowledge training means sometimes there is a change in technology, sometimes there is a change in the way process of a work. Sometimes new technology is being acquired by an organization. So a proper knowledge is given to an employee that this is a new machine. Till date you are working on an old machine. This is now fully automated. Now this will work as this. Means what? You are enhancing the knowledge of an employee. He knows, but you are enhancing his knowledge. So if there is any shift in the process, training process, the employee must be told that now onwards what you are going to do. And when we inform, we communicate this to an employee, we say that we are giving the knowledge training to them. Same way, a worker used to perform his activity by having a different or very specific set of skills. But now new machine has come and he has to perform the same activity by a different manner. Means he is using his skills, but in a different manner. We say that we are giving him a skills training. Means we are increasing the skill of an employee. Right? So when we increase the knowledge of an employee, we give him theoretical knowledge, and we say that this is the process now we are going to conduct. It is known as knowledge training. But when we talk and we work on the skills of an employee, we say that it is being a skill training given to an employee. Now cross-functional training. In bank we have seen that a same person used to perform different activity. Anyone who is absent on the job, his work is being taken by another person. So there are different functions which is being performed by a single individual. He should be trained in a manner that he can do each and every activity. In cricket, you know, there is a term known as all-rounder. He used to bat, he used to bowl, as per the need of the team. If the team wants runs, he has to bat. If the team wants wicket, he has to bowl. So accordingly, there are different functions performed by a single individual. Now when we trained a single person having different skills and having different knowledge form, we say it is a cross-functional training system. Then team training. Team training means working in a group. A group consists of different people coming from different backgrounds, but aligning them all and getting the best output is all which is being learned in the team training. This is being done by calculating all the skills and knowledge which a person possesses, and according to their expertise, they is being put into a team, and they have to work in a best efficient manner to get the best result. So in a team, everyone, each single individual has to perform for as per his skills, as per his knowledge to get the best outcome. Creativity training. As you all know, when we make movie, there are actors, actresses, editing, screenplay, story writing, producer, directors, cameraman. So a lot of things are being there. But what they are doing? They are having their own skills. And they are working in a very different manner. If you are creative enough, you can do the same activity by a different manner. You can show the world that how creative you are. If you see the calligraphy, people writing in a different form, and some of people feel that this person has got a good writing. So creative training is being given when a person having a skills, but he has to perform the same function in a different dimensions. So here you are going to increase the creativity of a person. You should know that what types of knowledge, what types of new technology is coming in your area, and accordingly you enhance yourself or your organization helps you to enhance that. So when this type of training is being given, it is known as the creativity training. Diversified training. Diversified training, again you have to say that you are working as a person in an office, by the same time you are getting a charge of another person, you are working on that place also. So here a single person has to perform different work at the same time. So it is very difficult for a person to do different set of skills of work at the same time. So diversified training is given to the employee so that it might set, his mindset should be enough that if he is performing a specific job, this set of skills is being needed. If he is performing another job, this set of skills is being needed. If he is performing the third type of job, this set of skills and knowledge is being needed. So when these things are being kept in a box and being told to an employee, and an employee is capable enough to do all the functions, it is being known as the diversified training. So these are the types of the training. Now there is training methods. As I have told you, there are two ways by which you are going to provide the training to an employee. The first process is this, that an employee has to be on his seat at his place, and the trainer or leader is going to come at his place and train the employee. It is known as the on-the-job training. The other one is the employee has to make and go to another place of learning, and at that specific place he is being told about their skills, knowledge and attitudes, and he is being trained over there. That process is known as the off-the-job training. So for the on-the-job training, there are 5 methods which we can talk about. The first one is job instruction training. Job instruction training is, you make an employee come at a job, you instruct him that this type of job you are going to do, you tell him how you are going to work, where you are going to sit, whom you are going to report, where you are going to sign. Everything should be instructed in a proper manner, and this training process is known as a job instruction training process. The second one is the apprenticeship. Apprenticeship, you all have seen a movie that is known as the Aankhein of Amitabh Bachchan. You have seen that he has created a replica of a same bank and he is being given over there. And that people goes in the bank and do a robbery. So somewhere or other, apprenticeship is the same thing where an employee is being kept as a trainee and make use of the resources which is there in the organization and learns on the place that what type of work is going to do. It is known as the apprenticeship training. Then job rotation. Job rotation is what? If any organization used to have a policy that for a 3-month a person is sitting in A cabin, for 3 months he will be in B, for another 3 months he will be in C, for another 3 months he will be in D. As a bank, you have seen that you have to collect the cash, you have to be a cashier, you have to give the cash, you have to sit at the back office, you have to sit at the place where passbook is being filled. So everything is being there. So when this type of a structure is being required in any organization, the employee is being given skills, the employee is being given training to do all the functions. So job rotation can easily be done if an employee knows all the functions. So for this type of things, job rotation is being done. Then coaching. Coaching is given by a trainer, coach or mentor having a great skills and knowledge of that specific thing. He used to enhance your productivity. He used to sit at your workplace and sees that how you are going to carry the task. And it tells you that if you are doing that activity in this specific manner, your efficiency will increase, your productivity will increase. So when this type of things is being done, it is known as the coaching. Then understudy means case study. You are going to do a function, new machine has been set up with the organization, you are standing over there and you are seeing that these are the functions, these are the points which you have to do. to take out the specific task. So it is a study you are going to do at a place for the productivity of an organization. And the last one is the mentoring. Mentoring means developing a person. If you are a team captain, you are working for a team, but you cannot be a team captain for long. You require another captain. So the team organization used to feel that in future, the new captain will be this person. So automatically, they provide him with all the vital skills which is being required for a team captain. So when this type of things is being done, it is known as mentoring. Means making people to enhance their skills and knowledges for future job, for future responsibility and accountability which they are getting. Now if we talk about the off-the-job training, you can see here the employee is going to leave his workplace and going another place to learn. The first one is the lecture. Means all the employees from different organizations come and sit every place. It might be the different departments, different companies coming from a place. A leader, a mentor, a trainer used to give lectures. They make their notes, and this lecture is going to help them to perform their job. Second one is simulations. Means aligning the work activity with the way the employee used to work. Simulate the activity, the timing of the things, how you are going to do the work, at what time the work is being carried so that a proper productivity is being maintained. You are going to simulate the activities. So when these three activities is being done, it is known as simulation process. Then we have got case study. Case study means the employee coming and sitting over there, and the trainer used to tell that this type of case is being occurred in any organization, and this is the output which we has get. Sometimes the trainer used to give the cases to the employee and say that if you are a manager, how you are going to perform, how you are going to take the action, how you are going to make a decision. So your decisions are somewhere depending upon the atmosphere, upon the factor which is being there. So this is known as the case study method. Then role play. Role play is very important. In the off-the-job training, you take each and every individual and you give them certain tasks to perform. So when they are going to perform that task, what are the skills and knowledge required to that person? He understands it, he learns it, and performs the role. When he is suitable enough to do his task, he is being sent back to the job and he performs the job over there. So here, role playing is very important. Means you are being assigned by different jobs, you are assigned in different tasks, and you have to complete that task. When you are capable enough to perform that specific task, you are being sent back to your organization and perform that activity. This is known as the role playing. In-basket exercise. In-basket exercise means that you are taking a person of different skills to a place. You are making them learn about the different skills. You are saying that this skill is being needed for this organization, this skill is being needed for this job, this skill is being needed for this job. And after that, you take the basket away and you make the employee to do their work. This is known as the in-basket exercise. Means bringing them to a place, making them acquire their specific skills and sending them back to work. Then you have got conferences. As seminars is being recorded, lectures is being there, conferences used to say that here the people used to come and read and share their knowledge. And the people having more knowledge and more skills are sitting over there, and they used to give their feedback that this is the way you are going to increase your efficiency. So by this method is known as the conference method, in where you are going to take your experiences and you discuss over there, and your experiences will be accumulated with the people who are higher knowledges, and they are going to change the behavior of yourself. Then group discussion. In group discussion, a group of 8 to 12 people is being set over there, and they come and share their knowledges, they share their experiences, and apart from this, they talk about the single topic, that if you are there, how you are going to take the decision. If you are there, what you are going to do. So when these things are being done, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, people are sitting over there and they are giving their own personal thoughts over the same matter. It is being known as the group discussion, discussing about the same topic. Sensitivity training. Sometimes there are certain skills which is being carried through by a people who have got expertise in that specific area. So, to expertise that person on that specific area, we used to give him sensitivity training. The person should go to that specific place, must learn that what the trainer is telling them, what the leader is telling him, and he should possess, he should learn that this is the skills which been required in my job, and he should go back and perform that activity. That is known as the sensitivity training. And the last one is the syndicates. Means you have to forcefully send by an organization to a place and you have to perform the skills or the knowledge, you have to acquire the skills and the knowledge which is being needed by an organization, but you don't have the skills before. Means you are learning the skills which you don't possess. You are acquiring the knowledge in which you are not expert. So, when an employee is given an other process which he don't know, he is being exposed to an area which you don't know, we say it is a syndicate training. So, these are the methods of on-the-job training and these are the methods of off-the-job training. Both are very important. It depends upon the organization that how they are going to give the training. How much budget an organization have on the providing a training. On-the-job training requires less budget because the employee is working at his place and getting the skills and the knowledge. While off-the-job training requires a lot of budget because an employee have to move from his place to another place. Off-the-job training has a disadvantage. Sometimes the employee get demotivated or might escape the training, while on-the-job training has got an advantage that the employee has to come, his presence will be made over there and he learns more easier manner because he knows the environment of the workplace and he is conscious of that. So both on-the-job training and off-the-job training are being very necessary, very important for an employee. So we have seen the process that how the training is going to give to an employee, and from the evaluation process to the end, how the process is being going to be done. Why an employee is going required a training, and the types of training, methods of training, and the on-the-job training and the off-the-job training. So this is very important for any organization because whenever you are going to increase and enhance the skills of an individual, automatically the output and productivity of the organization increases. And this is the whole crux of training and development. Human resource management, some way or the other, is a cocoon of a thing in which we are recruiting the people, we are training the people, we are taking the evaluation, and when the evaluation is not good, we are again going to train the people. So, for giving a proper training and development to a people, the individual skills, knowledge which he possesses, and the employee on which the training is given to, and the organization is impacting him and giving him a lot of exposure for this work and skill is there. So training and development is all about increasing the efficiency, the skills, the knowledge of an employee. I hope you have understood. Thank you.